Hey everyone, and welcome back to Tarot for You 444. I'm so excited that you could join me today. So I'm saying a big hello from Australia, and I wanted to say thank you for all the love and support that you've shown me so far on on this platform of YouTube. So recently, I've added a few different songs to the playlist for Divine Masculine and Divine Feminine. Some of the songs are, channeled messages from the Divine Masculine to the Feminine Collective, and some are from the Feminine, Divine Feminine to the Divine Masculine Collective, and then some of them are, just related to the Twin Flame journey. So if you haven't checked out those songs, they are in the playlist for I can't remember what I've called it. Check out the playlist and you'll see anyway. I've got other playlists as well for the Ascension series. I've got false twin flame signs, that's in another playlist, and I've also got the traits of the Divine Masculine for each of the star signs. And they're really fun, actually. I really enjoyed doing those, so you can check those out as well. Also, I wanted just to quickly mention that if you want to have a reading with me, there's about a 24 to 48 hour wait on those. So, feel free to contact me. And if you are, in need of an urgent reading, for your particular situation, then that's fine. I'll try and prioritize you as best I can. Just let me know. Just say, look, it's urgent. All right. Now, what else did I want to say to you before I start the topic today? I don't know. Maybe that I keep seeing butterflies everywhere. Butterflies are, a sign of transformation and also a sign of union. And I'm really feeling that, there's this collective feeling where, Divine Feminine and Divine Masculine are really missing one another. So I'm getting that feeling coming through quite strongly. In particular, Divine Masculine is realizing, how important Divine Feminine is to his life. And, he kind of has had time to contemplate, that without her in his life, it's just not the same. So, if he has to go to work or he has to go and, be in separation for a little bit to, go and do his, everyday life, he starts realizing how much he misses her. And obviously, flip the gender or flip the, the titles, how they suit you. There's Divine Masculine and Feminine energies can, of course, be different genders. So take it how it resonates for you. I wanted to bring up a topic today, which I don't think many other twin flame readers or coaches bring up very often. Well, I haven't seen it. I haven't really seen it. I mean, I don't really have time particularly to follow other readers or other channels very much. But I, in the past, I guess I did when I first, had an interest in tarot and in twin flames. So this topic today is, something that I wanted to bring up, which is, I don't know, it's kind of a little bit of a difficult topic to bring up because it kind of just goes against everything you want the twin flame journey to be. And I don't even know what I'm going to call the topic, because, I mean, I can really only think of the word confusion. Confusion, or if you were going to relate it to a tarot card, I would say, the Seven of Cups would come to mind. So if you're into tarot, you'd understand the Seven of Cups. There's this, inability to make a decision, or, there's just so many choices that you don't know what to do, or, there's just You know, so many different ways you could go around, you know, making a choice. Okay, so I guess I'll call this confusion, and maybe add it to the Ascension series. So, you know, for those of you who are in that playlist, you know, you can watch those videos and find them helpful. Okay, so what do I mean by confusion? You know, what is this energy that happens? Okay, so I don't know, if if you've come into contact with the twin flame journey, which I'm guessing you have if you're on my channel, then you would understand that, you know, at first there's this, you know, magnetic attraction, and, you know, you can, you know, possibly think that, you know, this other person is, you know, someone, you know, before you even understand the twin flame journey, you know, maybe someone you could just date, or someone you could, I don't know, be really good friends with because you just click, you know. And then of course all of the, you know, all of the chemistry, all of the, you know, feelings of, you know, wanting to be, you know, with them intimately come about. And then as you go on into the journey, you know, there may be periods of separation, and then coming back together, and separation and coming back together. And this isn't necessarily, you know, that one twin flame blocks the other, or, you know, or anything like that. This can just be, you know, the need to separate, because you've both got a job and you need to go and do your job, and, you know, there's daily responsibilities in your life. Okay, and then you know, so there's always separation and coming back together, and separation and coming back together, and this doesn't necessarily have to be a bad thing. You know, the word separation has sort of been a dirty word in the twin flame journey, but really it's not. It's just, you know, that time apart where you can focus on self, where you can focus on your job, where you can focus on your kids if you've got kids, or, you know, family, or, I don't know, you might want to, you know, plant a tree in the garden. And, you know, you can't necessarily do that while you're, you know, talking to your twin, unless you're in, you know, full union, you know, living together, that kind of thing. So anyway, so that, you know, at the get-go, it's this possibility that, oh wow, this could be a great friend, and then it can be, oh wow, this could be a great lover, and then it kind of changes to, oh wow, this could be someone I could spend, you know, the rest of my life with. And then there's, you know, separation, union, you know, as there is with all relationships. You know, you come into union with someone when you talk with them, and then you go into separation. So there's this constant separation and union that can occur, and sometimes it can occur for months or even years, or sometimes it might just be days or hours, you know, depending on where you are in your, you know, the relationship with your twin. Okay, so this is kind of like, it's not like cat and mouse, but it can feel like that sometimes. You know, when you're on the twin flame journey, it can feel as though you're waiting for that next message, you know, waiting for that next call, waiting for that next Skype, waiting for that next, you know, interaction with the twin. Okay, and that's completely natural. You know, you are magnetized, you know, naturally to the other half of your soul, and there's absolutely no shame in that whatsoever. But the big secret is to focus on self when you're in separation, so that, you know, any healing or anything that needs to be emotionally let out, or, you know, any jobs that you need to get done can get done. And then when you come back into union, you're feeling more whole. Because, you know, if they come in with the, you know, a text message or a phone call, and, you know, you've still got, I don't know, a pile of laundry not done, or, you know, I don't know, you were homeschooling the kids and they've, you know, not understood something, and, you know, you haven't done that with that. You know what I mean? Like, you've got all these boxes unchecked in your own life, and perhaps you're feeling emotional about something, or, you know, I mean, for divine feminines, you know, they can, you know, have that time of the month even, and feel like they're coming undone sometimes as well, you know, emotionally, because women or the feminine energy can be emotional. All right. So now let's get on to the confusion part. We've talked about, the first part of chemistry, where you could possibly, be with this person in the dating sort of sense, sort of friendship, then dating, then, oh wow, this could be the one, and then union, separation, and then, there's that big question of when's union going to be? Like, why aren't we in union? And why does he have to live all the way in Guatemala when I live in, I don't know, Timbuktu, Or for some twins, they might live literally, in the next town, and there's this separation that happens, for months and months and months, and they don't know why. Okay, so if you need help on your journey, please contact me if you want to come into union with your twin. I have a package that, can help you do that, for actual real, which is nice. So this confusion, let's get into this, is that when you've been on the twin flame journey for a while and you've been through these first few stages of, recognition and knowing that it's them, and, you definitely know that it's not a false twin, and, you definitely know that this is your person. Sometimes while you're in the separation stage, you can have some confusion. Okay, and this confusion can make you feel nervous, can make you feel doubtful, can make you feel as though it's too good to be true, or can make you feel like, why isn't it happening yet? And all these questions can come up, and they can be either positive or negative. They might be, oh wow, for someone who is, coming into union soon, it might be, oh wow, there's been a proposal, and oh my God, like, I don't know if I can be ready for that. Am I really ready to marry this person? Maybe I need to lose 20 pounds, or maybe I need to, I don't know, get my degree in something first, or, there's all these questions that come up, like, am I really ready? On one hand, and if there's been no proposal and it's just this union separation phase, then it can be, these type of doubting questions like, is this really my twin flame? Am I going crazy? Like, no one else around me understands this. How is it possible there can be all these signs and synchronicities? And, I was literally listening to that song the other day, and then, as an example, someone might say their divine masculine comes in and says, oh, have you heard this song? And, you were listening to it the other day. Or, some twins might even, have the same, brand of clothing that they're wearing or something, and it's just all these signs and synchronicities. And when they come together, it can feel so fantastic. And then when they, come apart again, or when they're in separation, this is when the mind can take over and start playing tricks and saying, like, is this really as fantastic as it seems to be? Maybe I'm just in a fantasy land, or maybe I'm just, thinking that everything's this pie in the sky thing, or, maybe it's never going to happen, or I don't know, all of these doubts and fears and confusion can come in, whether you're literally about to come into union or don't know when union's going to come, if at all. All right. So what do you do with the confusion? How do you deal with this confusion? Because, this is, especially in the beginning stages of the twin flame relationship or journey, this is when people start thinking that, there's a real difference between their old life and their new life. Their their, I don't know, physical reality versus their spiritual twin flame journey, because the twin flame journey is spiritual, and physical and mental and emotional. It's it literally changes your life. And so these feelings of dissonance or of non-resonance, or of maybe it's all in my head, or maybe I don't really have a twin, or maybe I'm just crazy, start to sort of pitter patter into the mind. And this is where I would say to you that if you really are unsure if it's your twin flame, go and watch my video on false twin flames and see if that resonates, and then that'll help with that kind of part of the confusion if you don't know if it's really your twin flame. And or if you need a reading, I can kind of guide you in the right direction. I won't necessarily tell you it's your twin flame, of course, because that's up to you. However, I would say to you that if this confusion starts in, all right, I want you to understand that the mind, the good old mind, is where the ego comes from. And so the ego will try and judge everything. The ego will try and say, oh, maybe I'm crazy, or maybe he doesn't really love me, or he or she, change the word as you need for this video. But, you'll start realizing that when you're in separation, you can come out of that heart space. You can come out of the, the heart space and back into the mind or back into the ego, and the vibration level can drop. Because, when the two twins come together, they both, help each other to raise the vibration, because they're bringing in the third energy. All right. So then when you separate, and especially if you're hanging around with people, places or situations that are of a lower vibration, in drama, arguments, being negative, that kind of thing, you can find that your mind will start talking, this negative talk. Perhaps he doesn't really love me. Perhaps she doesn't really love me. Perhaps, they don't really like me as much as they say, or perhaps he doesn't like me as much as they say, or maybe I'm just crazy and this is not a thing at all. Maybe I'm, especially if you've spoken to friends around you who don't understand the twin flame journey and are not twin flames, that can be a huge thing that's not helpful. And that's why, a channel like this can be really helpful. And you can comment below and have support from other people who are in your situation. All right. So when we realize that when the mind is going to have its own conversation, right? The mind is usually disconnected from the heart space. Okay. The mind will judge. The mind will, get in ego. The mind will say things that it doesn't mean. The mind will, use its subconscious memory of past relationships to, bring to the fore what's happening, in the current situation. So, let's say Lena was going out with Mark, I don't know, in 1984, and they had a breakup. Now Mark and Lena are split up, and Lena now has met her twin flame, let's say, but because she had a bad relationship with Mark, and he was abusive or narcissistic or whatever, or vice versa, Mark had an abusive Lena, right? Take it how it resonates, right? Now, Lena or Mark's subconscious memory has got this, this idea that relationships are going to be traumatic, that relationships aren't going to work, that they're not going to be successful. And so the mind steps in and says all of this. Oh, remember when you were in that relationship and it totally went the wrong way? And so then commitment can become an issue. Then, the idea of being with, the love of your life can become an issue, because your subconscious part of your mind will actually base it on the past. Because especially if you've had bad relationships or trauma in the past, it'll be like, there'll be a commitment phobia here, whether this is for divine masculine or feminine. And so I wanted to bring up this point of confusion, and I wanted to tell you that when you do feel confused, it's literally just a misalignment from the heart space and the head space. Okay, so you really need, as I always say, to put your mind in the corner and only use it for problem solving. All right. The twin flame journey is all about the heart-to-heart connection. It's all about the telepathic connection. It's all about being in tune with your emotional part of you, and also, your soul. Okay, so we've got a mind, a body, a soul, and emotional core. All right, so I'm suggesting that the twin flame journey, we let go of the mind and only use it for problem solving. Okay, because, this connection is energetic. This connection is magnetic. Energy is the only true way that you'll know, what's going on with your twin. And it's only the mind that comes in and confuses everything. Oh, he didn't text. Oh, she didn't call. Oh, he might not like me as much as he says. Oh, I'm not good enough. Oh, I've got a pimple on my chin. Oh, my hair's messy today. Which is something I say quite often. My hair's always messy, Or Harry might say, he's not going to like your bad curtains. Let's say. Okay. Or the fact that you talk to emoji bears, teddy bears, he's going to think you're crazy, right? So, I'm just laughing. Sorry, I can't help it today. So, you know what I mean? The mind comes in and tells you all of this stuff. It not only judges you, it'll judge your twin. It'll judge the situation. Oh, we live too far away. Oh, we live too close. Oh, it'll never work because he's religious and I'm not. Or it'll never work because, he's Italian and I don't know, where could you be from? Hungarian, let's say, right? It'll never work because, he's vegetarian and I eat meat. Well, who cares? Really? Does that really matter? So the answer here is unconditional love. Okay? So despite all of the confusion, come back into the heart space and understand that the twin flame journey is energetic and magnetic. And it's all about the heart-to-heart connection. It's all about the telepathic connection. It's all about the soul recognition. Okay? And the mind really has nothing to do with this, other than if you needed to solve the problem of logistical, how do we move in together, then you might use your mind to work that out. Okay? But if the mind is judging you for those sweatpants that you just bought, then you think you look too chubby in, ignore it. Okay? Ignore it. Do not let the mind judge you or your twin. Come into the heart space. Come into the knowing that love is all there is. Because if you close your eyes and had a conversation with your divine masculine or feminine, you would then know whether or not it's meant to be. Just by the energy. You would then know just by listening to their voice. Right? You don't even need to see them. Imagine it was all darkness, and they called you up and you heard their voice, and your whole, your whole body will vibrate. Your chakras come alive. That just their voice or just their, essence. Imagine they were standing next to you, right? That's the truth. That's where you've got to come from, that space of energetic connection, that space of being in the same room with them. Forget all the drama, forget all the blocks in the way of union. Love is the only law. Love is the only answer here. And let that be the truth in all of your relationships. Come into union with everyone that you come into contact with. And if they're not for you, then walk away from them. Okay, because ultimately the twin flame journey is about union. And this is not just a journey into union with oneself, it's a journey into being able to maintain unconditional, loving relationships with whoever you come into contact with. Then the journey becomes divine. Then the journey is not distorted anymore. And when you can do that, then you can come into union with your twin flame. Okay? Alrighty. I've been talking yap for way too long already. Harry has fallen asleep. He's in his box today. He said it's too cold to come out of his box. So maybe we'll see him tomorrow. We'll see how we go. All right, so I'm sending you love, light, and peace from Australia. Have a beautiful day, night, afternoon, or evening, wherever you are. And don't forget to love yourself. You are doing a fantastic job. I'm so proud of you. You are the light. You are here for a reason. And I want you to know that you are loved, divinely loved. And when you follow your heart space, and use that love is the only law, love is the only answer, you'll never ever go in the wrong direction. A disclaimer, this video is for entertainment purposes only. Don't listen to everything I say. Go within, okay? Go within. All right. See you, everyone. Have a great day. Bye.